second. It's like 7. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, folks, hello. Are you hearing me out there? We had just a little bit of setup we had to do. I haven't done one of these for over a month because the last day was the day of the tornado. So let me know if you can hear me. I think that it should be working.
You can just paste that.
Very good.
I copied it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Sino got me going here. And are you folks out there able to hear me? If someone will just let me know in the chat, I can hear the music. I can hear you. Well, that's great. If you can hear me, can you hear music? And if so, then we're all good. Loud and clear. Okay, that sounds great. Well, thank you all very much. It's really nice to see you all here again. I am very happy to bring this to you. It's my first live sale of the new year. And it was actually suggested by a viewer. I know a bunch of you have been watching on the main channel and you saw the various videos of the big estate sale that we did in Florida. And someone said, for those of us who can't get there, could you cull some items at the very end if there's some cute things and nice things that haven't sold? And we will be glad to have them here for you tonight. So that's what I did. And we've got 15 items. So it will be sort of a random thing. I didn't put pictures out, so you're all seeing it for the first time. And we're going to make it really easy. And hi there, everybody. Let's see who's here. We've got Barb from Winking Owl. Hello there. We've got Marina. We've got Ruthie. We've got Naomi, I mean. Hi there. She actually came to the estate sale, so that's cool. Trina Cirque is here. Nice to see you, Trina. And I've got some pictures to send you, so I've got a lot to do, but I'm going to catch up here. I see Karen from Oklahoma is here, and Heather and Karen Radford is here. That's great. Cat Mom Kelly is here. Jareen Mason, Teofane is with us. Cheryl Ross is here, also from Canada. Tiffany, yay, Barb. Oh, and Fatbird Finds are here. Well, that's great. I'm glad to see you too. Bree Gia, very nice to have you with us. Kelly Williams, I see. Alicia is here. I know I missed some of you because we had a little bit of difficulty getting started tonight. We had to kind of resurrect the system. So it all seems like things are a go here, though. Joyce Coleman, you say you're a newbie to me. Well, that's wonderful. Welcome. Let me tell you a little bit about how I do sales. It's similar to what you see on other YouTube live sales, but it's a little different in that I run it a little bit more like a true auction. So I'm going to put up an item and I will show you a little bit of about it, talk about it a bit, and we'll start the bidding. Now, the bidding is really easy tonight because every one of these items is starting at $1. That is the opening bid on every single thing. I don't care if it's worth $50. It's all starting at $1. When we get to the point where the bidding is winding down, I will call fair warning, just like they do at an auction facility. And that means that you've got about 20 seconds or so to get in your final bid. Bid what you're willing to pay, because I don't do just in cases. It is strictly whoever the high bidder is. And then I will call bid end and I will type bid end into the chat. There's a little bit of a delay. And so that means that I have a double system here where I type it in and then it goes through the system and goes to my other computer. And whoever the high bidder is, when it comes up bid end on that other computer, that is who the winner will be. In the event of a tie, the person who bid that amount first is the winner. All right, here we go. So Sandy and Otto's here. That's great. Am I shipping from Florida? That's a really good question. I probably will be shipping. I can, some of this, if I can get it invoiced tonight, I can ship from Kentucky, but I am going back to Florida. So in all likelihood, we're shipping from Florida. Most of these items are not terribly big or heavy, so it shouldn't make a huge difference in shipping. But if we, and the disembodied hand was Mr. Zeno. Yes, that's correct. Jareen Mason, nice to have you here with us. So assume that we're shipping from Florida, but if I'm able to get invoices out tomorrow and you pay right away, I might be able to send it from Kentucky if that matters in terms of where you're located. So I guess with no further ado, yes, Zeno is best at the computer stuff, and thank goodness for him because I probably wouldn't be appearing here in front of you. I couldn't make the sound come on, and that was a little bit of a problem. So thank you for being patient. You've certainly waited long enough. It's about 10 minutes into the show, so with no further ado, let's get started. And I'm just going to take these things in kind of random order. And again, everything you're seeing here was in the big estate sale. And you think, well, why didn't people buy these at the estate sale? Well, the truth is that sale was so packed and we had 3 days to sell everything that I knew there'd be some fun things left at the end. And so I put a little bit of money into the estate and bought them, and now they're here for you. And the very first I'm going to show, I think we'll just start small here, but this is very cute. We have a little metal fan here. This is Japanese. The woman was a world traveler, and so she got this. It has this Damascene where you see the, come on into focus here now, please. Oh, wait, there we go. So it's a little metal fan on a stand. It's only about 3 inches. It's got this nice Damascene effect in the golden black, and it is starting at $1. So $1 is the opening bid, and that is true on all of these items. $1 is the opening bid. It's a brass piece. This was done sometime around 1980. It's got its little brass stand. It's just plain on the back. And Larry Riley, nice to see you here too. And Donna's Diamonds, so many things buried under things. That is a fact. So yes, I'm very fortunate to have a Zeno, Cheryl, that's for sure. So $1 is the opening bid. If anyone is interested in this, go ahead and put in your dollar and we will start the bidding here. Steph sells stuff by the seashore. That's a hard one to say, but hi there. Nice to have you with us too. And let's see here. Okay, Daniel Clace, nice to see you. And he has bid $5. So $5 is our current bid on this item. $6 for Karen Chase. I just think it's very sweet. She had it as a nice little memento. She traveled all over the place, and one of those places was Japan. I think she was quite fascinated with world travel because she'd been everywhere. So it's just fun to see a gathering of different things. Daniel is at $10. And Christine, hello there. Nice to have you with us. Rob Hawkins from Danville, Kentucky. Well, very good. I'm over in Dawson Springs, where we had the tornado. I will do a tornado update video before I leave just to show you folks how things are progressing here. Gina Marie, nice to have you here. So we are at $10, and I am calling fair warning on this item. So this is your last chance to put in a bid, because this item is going once, it is going twice, and we are at bid end. I'm putting it in. Hi Elsie, nice to have you here with us as well. And we're just waiting for that bid end to come up before we go on to the next item. And there we go. And Daniel, for $10, you are the winner of the Japanese fan. Thank you very much. It's a very pretty piece. I will make a note of it here. And I know that I have all of your information, Daniel, and I should tell you, because I know some of you folks are new to me, if I don't have your information, and even if I do, it helps if you'll send an email to the antiquenomad@gmail.com just saying I was the winner of the bid on such and such an item or grouping of items if you get more than one, then I will get an invoice out to you right away. I just need your mailing address and your PayPal address. All right, our next piece, and there are 2 different items by this artist. This is a little jar here made of alabaster with a scene on the top. And the scene is by an artist named Edna Hibel. And Edna Hibel, it was an artist who was very well known in New York and then later in Florida. She has passed on. There was a museum of her items, which unfortunately closed due to COVID. I don't believe they were able to continue operating, but she is a well-known artist. She did a lot of paintings. She's very well known for this. It's painted almost as if she did a pen and ink and then painted inside. It's a very distinct style. This one is made of marble, It would be a little pin dish or a whatever kind of dish. It only measures about 1.5 or 2 inches tall by about 2 inches in diameter, and it is starting at $1, and Daniel is at $8. So $8 is our current bid on this. I think it's a very nice piece. The marble is likely from Italy. That's where most of our marble seems to come from in this country these days, especially for home decorative objects. It's typically either from Italy or Thailand, believe it or not. And I do think this is cute. Ila Rosa is at $10. Nice to see you here. Ruthie is at 13, Ruthie Bronkema. And I do agree. I think it's very sweet. It's got the mother with the children. And this is something that she did originally it was one of her better known paintings originally. Lena Ray at $15 here. I did an appraisal in St. Petersburg, Florida for someone who had 3 or 4 of her original paintings, and the original paintings turned out to appraise somewhere in the $1,700 to $2,500 range, so she is a listed artist. Ila Rosa Boutique is at $16, and computer not cooperating. Oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. We have suddenly run into a few little glitches around here, but we are here with you to do this, and that's the important part. So we are currently at $18. Ruthie Bronkema is our high bidder. And Sammy, hi, good to see you too. $20 for Ila Rosa. I always hope I'm saying that correctly. It's a very cute little piece, and I think that we are going to call fair warning. So if you are interested in this piece, it's your last chance to get in a bid. We are at $20. Alicia, gosh, I'm sorry to say I don't think I have found anything out about that painting yet, and I apologize. I did my other appraisal work, and I think yours went to my main email. And I need to follow up on that. So I'll try to get on that tomorrow if I'm able to, because when I first looked, I didn't find anything initially. So we are at fair warning. Last chance to bid. Our bid is at $20. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we are going to put in bid end here and see where it comes up here and who our ultimate winner of this item is. Let me just make a quick note here. Little pot. Okay, and our bid end came in, and that is Ila. Very good. Isla in Italian, Ila in English. Okay, very good. Well, I have all the work I can to pronounce English correctly, so we'll say Ila Rosa. And you are the winner of that piece. Thank you very much. I believe you've bought from me before, but again, if you folks will just send me an email with your information, that will be very helpful to make sure that we get this all processed correctly. All right. The third piece, you know what, let's start with this. This is one price for all of these, so it's a lot. And what we have are some little necklaces here, basic necklaces on chains, but they're very pretty. And again, this is starting at $1. These will likely be mailed from Florida, Gina Marie, although if I can get invoices out tonight, I may be able to send a few things from Kentucky if they're larger and heavier. This is a pearl on a silver chain. It is a real pearl. I believe that the chain, let me see if I can see if it has a mark. The chain is not marked as silver, so I believe it's got a small mark, but it's not a silver mark. So the chain is silver plate, but there is a pearl on here. We have a couple of bids at $5. The second piece in this collection, this is all for one price, so you're getting all of these for whatever the high bid is. This is a little marble or alabaster cross. Let me get out of the way and see if it'll focus better. There we go. There's our cross. We are at $7. Marina Mercer is our current high bidder because she got her $7 bid in first. The third piece is a little brass cross on a chain here. Let me get that up where you can see it better. Hard to make it not wobble. There we go. And then the fourth piece, Marina Mercer is our current high bidder. This was my personal favorite. This is a little compact. I'm sorry, a locket actually, not a compact, of course. Let me show this again. I think I have to get out of the way for you to really see it. There we go. It does have a initial on it. On a gold tone chain, and it has pinstriping on the back. This is going to be probably from the 1940s. And if we open it here, we're going to see that it has places for your pictures. No pictures in it currently. And currently, Marina Mercer at $15. You are our high bidder. Hey there, Nate. Nice to see you here too. And I'm going to hold these up again one more time for you to see. It's one price for all four. So our current bid is $15 for the four. And we'll see if I can hold a hand up behind it or something to make them come in. There we go. So we've got the cross, the pearl, the other cross, and the locket. Well, let's see there. I just dropped that one. Lena Ray at $20 is our current high bidder for these four items together. And we are approaching fair warning. So if anyone else is interested, this is your last chance to bid. Speak now or forever hold your peace, as they say. And it's the two crosses, the pearl, and the locket. And we have Lena Ray was our first one at 20. We have Ruthie Bronkema at $28. Is the locket marked? It does have a very small mark. It's not marked for gold. I have to be honest, I should have brought my jeweler's loupe. I just opened it for the first time in front of you, and I don't know what the mark says inside. My eyes are not good enough to tell you, I'm afraid. I think it's probably a maker's mark, likely an American maker from about 1940s. And nice to see you, Kitschy Corner. We are at $35. We are going once. We are going twice. I'm going to put in bid end, and we'll give it a moment to come up and see who our high bidder is. And while I do that, I'm going to make a quick little note here. Okay, bid end came in, and Ruthie Bronkema, you are the high bidder at $35 for all four of those pieces. And I will definitely need your information because I don't believe I've sold anything to you before, but congratulations and thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, let's see here. I think it'll be fun to put this up next. Let me see where we are here. Okay. As they say, you either like Picasso or you don't, but I like Picasso, and I like this scarf, which is a Picasso signed scarf down on the bottom. Now, he did not sign it personally because it would be worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but it is signed right here. This is something, I have it upside down. Funny thing with Picasso is you really can't tell. So there's Picasso. Here's the image. It's a very nice scarf. Again, this starts at $1, so you may start the bidding. $1 is the opening bid here. I believe it's acetate, but it does have a very silky feel to it. It does not have a tag of any sort that tells us anything about the material, so I have to go just based on feel. But this gal had a lot of neat scarves, and there were so many that I think this just ended up in the bottom of the pile. So we have Lynn at $15 is our opening bidder, so $15 is the current bid. And of course, if you're better with scarves than I am, you'll figure out how you can wrap this so that you can actually see the image while you're wearing it. But it's nice. It's a pretty large size. A lot of people, and yes, I was surprised Kat didn't get this one too. A lot of people use these as table scarves and things. This would be big enough. It's about card table size. I'd say it measures approximately 36 inches square. So it's a larger one. And the colors are very pretty. It's definitely a color scheme I would associate with probably the 1980s. That's when I see a lot of people started to wear these types of things, and scarves became more of an art statement than anything. So it is a cool piece, and our current bidder is Sammy at $20 is our current high bidder. I'll open it up one more time so you can get a good look at it. The nice thing with this is it doesn't weigh anything, so it's not going to be expensive to mail no matter where we send it from. I don't see any holes or any runs or any problems with it at all. And it doesn't smell particularly perfumey either, which is nice. And we are at $23. Lynn has bid $23, and we are getting close to fair warning. So this is your chance to put in your final bid, because this is going to wind on down here really quickly. Just lots of fun color. And of course, if you wake up in the morning looking like this, well, then you're about like me in the morning, I would say. And we are going once. We're going twice. We are at bid end. I'm going to put it in now, and we'll see who the high bidder ends up being. As soon as that comes up in the feed, we will know. Our current high bidder is Sammy at $28. We'll see if she gets it, and yes, she does. Sammy, that is yours, and thank you very much. I thought that was a very pretty one. It's really fun to be able to share some of the stuff from the estate sale with you. I am going to do another sale tonight on another platform called Whatnot, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. It's going to be a little more, I guess, maybe stereotypically guy-oriented, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. In the meantime, Picasso scarf is for Sammy. That's great. Okay. Our next piece here, I think we'll do some porcelain. We have a couple of figurines, and I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. This is Royal Doulton, and it's called Bedtime. It's about 5.5 inches tall, and $1 is the opening bid. You can tell by the mark on the bottom that this one was probably made around the 1960s or 70s with that mark. It is just really sweet. They did such good painting back then. Royal Doulton was very, very precise about the way that they decorated their porcelains. And so I think she's really cute. And again, she starts at just $1. You know, there's some of these things that if no one else bids, they might be good reseller fodder out there, because even with shipping at $1, this thing is certainly worth a considerable bit more than that. This estate really did have a lot of nice stuff, and I'm really glad that I'm able to share some of it with you here. Daniel Clace is at $5 opening bid on this piece. She just seems very serene. I like how they really studied it. You know, they make sure that the folds in the dress are just right, and it's quite a process. I mean, a sculptor has to sculpt an actual piece of this, generally in metal, and then they oftentimes will have to if they do it using wax relief, then it means they pour wax into it and then they cast off of that. It's very complicated, really. Our current high bidder is Sandy at Spiff 50 Vintage for $12, and Daniel now at $15. She has no chips or cracks or any damage whatsoever. I'll show that mark one more time so that you can see. And this one has the Dalton and Company Limited mark. This particular one originally came out right at the end of World War II, as I understand, and stayed in their line for a while. Ruthie is at $18 and is the current high bidder. And let me just get something set in here. Thank you. So we have Ila Rosa at $20. We have a tie bid there, but she had the $20 in first. And we are approaching fair warning. So this is the last chance for your final bid. Again, we don't do just in cases, so just bid what you are actually willing to pay for these. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we are putting in bid end, and we will see who our high bidder is. As soon as this comes up on the screen, we will know. Currently, we have Daniel at 21, and Daniel, at $21, you are the new owner of the bedtime figure. Thank you very much. Let me make a note of that. Bedtime, all right. This next piece I just think is cute. It's printed on brass. It's going to date sometime to probably around the 1930s, I would say, because it's on the thin side. It's a little statement by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And again, this starts at $1 as your opening bid, $1 for the hanging plaque. And it says, if a man can write a better book, preach a better sermon, or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, though he build his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. So Emerson was the one who came up with the idea of build a better mousetrap. I did not realize that. Emerson was a pretty fascinating person. He believed in transcendentalism. I guess a nice way of saying that is that means that he's still around somewhere. I think these are very cute. It's $1 for the opening bid. So if someone is interested in this, $1 is your first bid. It measures approximately 5 by 7. Willie Joe at $5 is our opening bid. It's got a nice hanging chain. It's something that would have been stamped in brass, so it's got a little bit of relief here. This isn't painted. This is actually all raised, and then they painted on top of it. So that's where you get the sort of orange-red color here. Mottos and such were very popular in the 1920s and 30s. I think the concept was that it's like affirmations. It's the idea of I'm going to read something that inspires me or helps me stay on track. I just think that they're really neat. Daniel at $8 is our current high bidder. Size is approximately 5 by 7. In fact, it is exactly 5 by 7 now that I look at it. All of these would have been made in the United States at that time. And this is at the same time as you have silhouettes and mottos. So ruler in front of monitor. Oh, thank you. Gosh, he really does think of everything. So there we go. 7 inches. And this way we are at 5. So it is 5 by 7. Of course, if I had that right side up, you could see that too. There we are. Willie Joe at 10, Ruthie at $15 is our current high bidder. And we are approaching fair warning. So if anyone else is interested, this is the time to get in your bid. Because when we do fair warning, it means we are winding down the auction. And that means that in just a moment, yeah, he sure is, Margaret. I'm very, very grateful to have Zeno to help me with so many of these things. And this one is going once. It is going twice. And we have reached bid end. We're just going to wait for that to come up. Oh, there's a moose in your yard. Well, that's interesting. It's been really cold here, but we haven't seen any moose yet. It was very, very cold. It was freezing last night. And we actually were in snow up in Indiana when we went up to get things up at Costco. So that was quite a surprise. All right, bid end. And Ruthie at $15, you are the high bidder. Thank you very much. We'll put this in the vicinity of the other items that you got. Emerson. Okay. Well, you folks seem to like jewelry, so let's do another jewelry piece. I think this piece is really fun. It's just different. It is on a leather strap with lots of nice dust. You can tell this is fresh from an estate. So, this is the piece that you can't see yet. Let me get it to where you can. There we are. It's modernist, it's enamel, it should date to the 1970s, and it is $1 starting bid. So starting bid of $1. On the back it says, handmade in Norway. So this is Scandinavian modern from about 1970, and it has a leather strap, which was very much how a lot of jewelry like this would have been worn at that time. The modernists like to mix these sort of materials where you have this sort of very modern thing with a very traditional thing like a leather lanyard. And we have a bit of a dollar from Stephanie, but we are moving on and we're already up to 12. Willie Joe is our current high bidder at $12. So $12 is the bid. I do think this is a neat piece, and I think Norwegian made makes it a little bit more interesting than if it was just, you know, something that we didn't know or that somebody made at a street fair back in that time. Let me get ready here. I should tell you a little bit about the measurements. The amulet itself is 2 inches long by about 1.5 inches wide. And the total thing on the leather strand here is going to be, they measure it, whatever your measurement down is, you multiply by 2, and the measurement is for the whole necklace all the way around. So it looks like that makes it 26 inches. So it's a 26-inch lanyard, meaning a 13-inch drape. So this would be something that you might wear over a sweater, for example, back in the day. Show back again, please. Absolutely. Here is the back that is stamped, handmade in Norway. It doesn't say by whom. We just know that it was made in Norway at the time. And it is on some sort of a brass planchet with the enameling on the top. We have Mary Denny. Well, hello there. Mary Denny is a new person for me, and welcome. $20 is the current high bid. And we are at fair warning. So if you are interested in this piece, please get your bid in now, because we don't have long to go in this particular, for this particular item. We are going once. We are going twice. We have Aiden at $25, and we are at bid end. We're just waiting for that to come in and see who our high bidder is. And oh, Willie Joe sneaks in at $28 at the last minute. So Willie Joe really wanted this, and I don't blame you. I think it's really cool. So congratulations, and we'll have that ready to get out to you there. All right, let's see here. We have Norway pendant. Well, this next piece here I want to show you is a very pretty crystal piece. And while crystal is not as popular as it used to be, this piece is just so streamlined, so smooth, and so modern in so many ways that I thought it would be worth showing. It is a nice little decanter, probably for cordials, and this is starting at $1. So $1 is the opening bid. I would think this would be a cordial or liqueur decanter because it's only 9 inches to the rim and a total of 11 inches with the stopper, but it is by a very good company from Sweden called Orifors. And this is a little older mark. You can see the label right there. $1 is our opening bid on this. Let's see if we can get that. There we go, Orifors, Sweden. That is an older label. This is going to be 1960s. They changed to sort of a brown label, and you see that on their more modern items. So, and hey, Danny, the niche lady is here. Welcome, nice to see you here. Now, because it's Orifors, it has a very nicely polished bottom. It's not that satiny look where they just sort of scoop it out and then leave it raw. They would fire polish the bottom so that you really wouldn't see that in there. It has just a tiny bit of residue that you can see there. I do believe that it also, as most Orifors does, has a very faint etched signature on the bottom, but it's so faint I can barely see it, and I don't think I'll be able to show it to you. But it is just a really nice design. It's just so simple and so graceful, and I like the top being just a little bit faceted. Well, maybe not faceted, but shaped in a way that really gives some contrast to the bottle. It would be really neat with your favorite beverage in it. And that's how these things really pop. And that's why a lot of people, I've noticed some younger people, especially at the estate sale, were starting to buy clear glass. they're getting interested in crystal because they're realizing that the color comes from the refraction of the light and also the contents. So I think it's a neat piece. We are currently at $21. Nope, $22, and that's Aiden, Karen Chase at 23, Daniel at 24. I think it is very graceful. They do make good quality glass. It's very clear. Ela Rosa at $25. And let me see if there we go. Thank you. The invisible hand has come back to assist me. Daniel is at $26. Let the clear glass craze begin. I think that we're about due. I'll show another really nice clear glass piece in a few minutes here that I think is terribly underrated in the current market, and someone will get a deal on that. So Daniel is our high bidder at $26, and we are calling fair warning. So this is your last chance to bid on this item. Looks like a teardrop. Yes, it is a nice teardrop shape, very balanced, and yet very well made. You can really tell again by looking at the bottom how they fire polish. They make sure the bottom is absolutely flat. I like the simplicity too, Leah. And nice to see you here, by the way. Lisa Hemphill, I'm ready for clear glass to come back too, actually. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at bid end. We just have to wait for it to come up and see who our high bidder is. And there we go. And Daniel at $26, you are the high bidder. It's a very handsome piece, and I'm sure that it will be a very nice thing for entertaining. So thank you. I just need to make a note of this very quickly here with a pen that works. 4 4s is Daniel. Okay. I'm going to take a pause just for a minute here because we will be doing a little sale, and it's honestly tonight's sale on Whatnot is going to be at 8:15 Eastern. It's going to be a little more, I guess, stereotypically guy-oriented stuff. We've got car pins and a beer tray and a cool old box and some different things, but we definitely invite all of you to come join us there. Whatnot is an app that you can download on your phone. It's actually better if you can to download it on the phone first and register to pay by PayPal on that app. You can actually then go to the computer to view it, and you can get to it on the computer as well. But if you go to the computer and put in a credit card, if it's a Citibank card, it doesn't know how to process it. So usually I tell people, if you want to go to Whatnot, just do it on the phone and download the app and do all of your setup there, and then you can go watch on the computer. It's a live sales site that's similar to Instagram. The reason I'm experimenting with it is because there's some nice things they do, like you just press a button and you can bid. And if you buy more than one item, the first item you pay full shipping, and then every item, the next 19 items you buy, you pay $1 each for shipping. So that's a great thing for the buyer. They have some sort of a shipping arrangement. And you don't have to wait for invoices because it's just an instant pay, and I can immediately ship things to you. So it's I like these live sales on YouTube a lot, but I wanted to also experiment on another platform where some of the bookkeeping things are a little easier. So we'll be on Whatnot and whatnot.com at 8:15 Eastern tonight with that. And once you've signed up, you can watch with the phone or the computer. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see what we have next. And yeah, I know some of you joined me for my first sale on Whatnot. I think we've worked out a few of the kinks, so this one hopefully will be a little smoother. And speaking of smooth, that was really smooth dropping this on the floor. Fortunately, it's not breakable. Our next bid for tonight, and there are 4 of them, and they are selling for, oh no, I'm wrong. There are 5 of them, and they are selling for one price. These are Freshwater Pearls. They are all identical in size. So this is 12, 15, so 30 inches is the total drape on these. And I thought it would be fun to do all 5 of them together so that somebody could wear them together as a big clump. $1 is the opening bid. So $1 is your first bid on these 5 strands of freshwater pearls. We know that they're real freshwater pearls because if you, and I always tell people, put it to your cheek. If you want to know if a pearl is real or has potential to be, hold it up to your cheek because it will feel colder than room temperature. Stones and natural materials hold cold. Plastic does not. So if you put it up to your face and it's room temperature, well, then it's plastic, unless you're in a refrigerator. So we have a $20 bid. $20 is our high bid currently, and that is for Linny Pie. They look good on me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Lena Ray at $21. I think for me, I'd have to wear them as a headband. So there we go. But I do think that they would look better on someone other than me. I'm not a jewelry wearer because in this business, I'm always moving things around and I would just destroy jewelry if I had it on. So that is something I leave for my other collectors, but they're very pretty. And I see Lynn is at 24. Marie Perel is here. Perla, I'm sorry. I'm so bad with pronouncing names right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm having a little bit of mush mouth this evening, but in any event, these are the 5 strands and it's one price for all 5. And we are approaching fair warning. So if you're interested in these, this is your last opportunity. I suppose if you had a really small neck, you could double them, or you could actually tie them a little bit and knot them in a way that would make them asymmetric. There's lots of ways to wear beads. Those of you who wear beads know better than I. So I will leave it to you to decide how to use them. Have I gotten any Christ in? I wish I had. I have not seen any Christ lately. I have to be honest, I have had so much merchandise coming my way that I haven't actually been doing a lot of hunting for more merchandise, and I will be doing shows starting next weekend, and I will be looking there. I'll be at West Palm Beach Perlette. Thank you. I knew that, Marie. I've met you in person, and I really should know. And we are at fair warning. Our high bid currently is $30. There is no clasp on these. They're just a continuous strand. And we are going once, going twice, and we are at bid end. And we will see who our high bidder is here. Blackberry Thistle Tea is here, and our high bidder is Sandy. It's Spiff 50 Vintage. If I speak really slowly, I'll get it right. So Sandy, thank you so much. I'm glad that you got those. I will make a note of it here. Spiff 50. Again, I know a lot of you have bought from me before. Please don't assume that I have your information. Do send me an email at theantiquenomad.com or theantiquenomad@gmail.com when we're done with this, and that way I'll make sure that I get you invoiced. Well, since we were just talking about how people really like clear glass, I'm going to show you the one set that is a little bit bigger and heavier, but I think they're really beautiful and I think they're really underappreciated in the market. Let me get back into focus here first. There we are. These are Cambridge glass, and they have a wonderful etch. These are 1940s vintage candlesticks. There is a pair. $1 is the opening bid on these, so it's $1 for the pair. And let me show you the floral pattern. It has these nice flowers here around the edge. I should remember the name of this pattern. I used to have almost encyclopedic knowledge of elegant depression glass patterns. And when I stopped exclusively being a china and glass dealer and branched into other things, I stopped doing the glass shows and I lost some of that knowledge. So I should know what this pattern is, but I just can't tell you. But you can see it from the bottom a little better there. They're really quite lovely. And this is the sort of thing, it's crystal, but it sure doesn't disappear on a table because look at all that design. You put a couple of colored candles in that and you have a very nice romantic evening in store, or they might be useful this time of year for those of you who are going through power outages. I do think that they're really pretty. Willie Joe is at $20 and is our current high bidder. I'm going to set one of these down just because, well, they're heavy. And here's the top. They always did a lot of crimping around the candlestick so that the plain candlestick had some contrast in the base. And they have this nice keyhole pattern here. And that's how I recognize them as being Cambridge, because Cambridge did a lot of stemware as well that had this keyhole in it. So these are 1940s. And I think that they look like poppies, yes. And the visible nuances of clear glass, it really is true. This stuff, Steph said it, and she's right. These things were made to be, during the era of depression glass, this was a step above. These were fire polished. They wanted to make sure that the glass had great clarity. It doesn't have bubbles in it. They would put, up until very late in the production, they would put manganese in it so that it would have clarity and would not turn yellow with age. So they're very nice, and we are at fair warning. Lena Ray at $22 is our current high bidder. This is your last chance on the candlestick holders. If these interest you, now is the time to bid, because they are going once, they are going twice, and we are at bid end. We're going to wait for the bid end to come up and see who our high bidder is. And we're waiting for it. And there it is. And Willie Joe got in at the last minute with $25. I think that's a wonderful price, and I hope you really enjoy them. And if you decide you would like me to leave them for you at our favorite place rather than shipping them, that's an option as well. So let me just make a note of that. Candlesticks. All right, well, we are moving on here, and I think it's time maybe to show a little bit of porcelain, because there were some nice porcelain pieces that were left. And the first one I'm going to put up is this one here, which is a set. One of them is marked and one of them is not. Again, this is starting at $1. These are Limoges, and they are hand painted with roses. This is honestly probably what remains of a dresser set. I imagine that there was originally a hair receiver and maybe a little pot for makeup as well, and that these pieces survived and the others either went to other family or didn't. But $1 is the initial opening price on these. This is a hat pin holder, and this is something that's worth showing. See the holes in the top? A lot of people think, well, this is a shaker, but look at the bottom. No place to put anything to shake out of that. So it is not a muffineer. Now, a lot of people buy muffineers and turn them into hat pin holders, and some dealers who don't know better, I hope it's because they don't know better, sell them as hat pin holders. But a hat pin holder has a solid bottom, because otherwise the pins would go through the bottom. So this is the hat pin holder. It's got a little bit of wear to the gold that you see there. And there is the tray. Now the tray does not have the mark. The hat pin holder does have, and I think that the fact that the tray does not have is really not anything to do with anything other than the fact that they missed putting the mark on, because it does have a maker's number here, and clearly the patterns match. So our current high bid is $20. And well, Willie Joe, that's very kind of you, but no, you won them fair and square. It's an open bid, and you know, if you want it, you got to bid. That's just the way it goes. So here's the hat pin holder. Hopefully there's enough for everybody to get something neat this evening. And there is the tray, and I could be a hand model. Well, thank you. My hands are starting to look a little bit used, because I've been washing and cleaning things with them for a long time in this business. The maker is not Haviland. It is PL, and I'm not sure who the PL company is, but we can look at that mark and tell you a little bit about it. PL is the company, and IW is whoever the decorator was. Limoges is part of, Limoges is the porcelain making region. The Haviland marked pieces are marked that because a company in New York came up with the Haviland name, and so they had a lot of it made for them, and they were considered high up in the market, but there were lots of other good Limoges makers. In fact, if you watch my video on Monday coming out, I'll show a really beautiful elite Limoges vase in that video. So here we are. We are getting close to that point. We are at fair warning, and we are at $20 and going once, and we are going twice, and we are sold to whoever the high bidder is. There's the bid end, and Pamela Commons at $25 gets this lovely set of the 2 Limoges pieces. Well, thank you, Pamela. That was a surprise right at the end. So it works all different directions with these. And let me make a note of that for you, Pamela. Limoges 2-piece Pamela Commons 25. Okay, very good. Well, while we're on the porcelain kick here, I think we'll go ahead and show another set of porcelain from the other end of the world. Now, this little set is a mustard pot with its original spoon, which is nice to have. There's the spoon. And it also comes with a salt and pepper set. It does not have a tray, however, so you're just getting these pieces here that you see. This is $1 starting bid, and it's for the whole set. So $1 is our starting bid, and these are Noritake because when you look at the bottom of this one, you see that it has the Morimura Brothers mark, hand-painted Nippon. So this is 1920s vintage Noritake. And yes, very good, Cheryl, that you were right. They are indeed Nippon. The hand enameling with the beading is very typical of Japanese porcelain of this time. So they did all the gilding by hand, and then all these little dots they would put enamel, which is a glass and paint suspension on. So it's got this really, really pretty design to it. And Karen Chase at $5 is our opening bidder for these. And yeah, you would think sugar, but sugar bowls were usually a little bit bigger actually than this. So here's the 3-piece set. It's one price for all 3 pieces. It's actually, I suppose, 5 pieces with the lid and the spoon. Aaron Sopko at $10 is our current high bidder. And it is amazing, Danny. A lot of work went into things back then. I mean, I think the idea was that people had finally started to come into modernism in the 20th century. The average person had some money to spend, and they wanted things that had a little bit of style and elegance that weren't just plain and utilitarian, because a lot of the people who were before them, the pioneers, every day was just about survival. So everything was very plain. And as soon as it could be about something else, well, then people wanted things with a little bit of panache. Just 100 years old approximately. Yes, that's right. These are about 100 years old. Karen Chase at $15 is our high bidder. And Cheryl Ross says you've got a piece that matches that pattern. And indeed, there would have been probably entire tableware sets that would have matched this. Maybe even dinnerware, depending on the pattern. A lot of the Noritake pieces actually match sets of china, although not exclusively so. Karen at 17, Ila Rosa at 18 is our high bidder. And in the interest of keeping on time, we're going to call fair warning here. So we are getting close to the bid. Please put in your final bids. Linda Robertson at $20 is our current high bidder because the tie goes to the person who bid it first. And we are going once. We are going twice. And I'm going to put it in now. We are at bid end. And we're just waiting for it to pop up here. And thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Everybody hitting the like button does really help. And we are at bid end, and the high bidder is Linda Robertson, gets it at $20. I'm sorry, Karen, your bid just came in just a second too late. So let me make a note of this. We've got Linda, and Linda, I'm almost sure I don't think I've got your information. So do please again send to the antiquenomad@gmail.com your mailing address and your PayPal address, and then we'll get those invoiced for you. And this is the Nippon set. All right, well, we have a few more items, and 3 to be exact. So we're going to keep on going here. I think that I'm certainly having fun doing this. It's nice to be alive again. We were having a lot of fun being live, doing sales right up until the tornado hit, and then we had a whole lot of live content regarding that scenario. Then the rest of life happened, and this is the first time I've been back. So thank you all for coming. It's really great. I think we will do one more Royal Doulton figure here. And again, we're starting all of these at $1. So $1 is the initial bid on her. And I'll tell you a little bit more about her in just a moment. She's another very sweet little girl, and this one is called Marie. And Marie stands about 5 inches tall. Marie was one of the first Royal Doulton figures I ever bought as a reseller, and back then, they were big money. They don't sell for as much as this now, but when I first bought her, I was very excited because I think I paid $35 or $40 and could sell her for $75, and that seemed like a lot of money back then. Royal Doulton is not as expensive as it used to be, but it is every bit as pretty as it used to be. And this one is a nice mark here. This is a little older mark. When you see their names in quotation marks, that typically is a little bit older mark. That's going to be more in the 1940s, 50s era, if I understand correctly. Hi, Diane. It's good to see you as well. Traveler, thank you. I love the color too. It's just so beautiful, this lavender, and the way it shades from the pink and lavender up into the rest. She doesn't have any chips or cracks. She's in great shape. And again, just the folds of the dresses and all the detail. And Ruthie is at $20, so that is our opening bid on Marie, $20. And yes, we're thankful to be alive too. We were very fortunate. The tornado managed to miss our part of town and narrowly missed, it certainly affected his grandfather's house, but I'll show you a video and show you how that's going. Things are definitely looking up, so. And this is very sweet, isn't it? She just has that lovely face. Sandy is at $25. Look at the painting in the face. You can really tell the difference between this and some of the sort of slapdash painting you see on Japanese pieces, for example, sometimes, because look how her eyes are done so that they appear to have pupils. It's not just a black dot. The shape of the lips is very important. They look like lips. It's not just a line that somebody sort of splashed on there. So this is why Royal Doulton figures were considered the standard in their day. And she is really cute. And thank you. I'm glad that we did have some nice things to bring you because, you know, at the end of an estate sale, a lot of times we're just sort of looking at rocks and garbage. But this estate sale had so much that I knew I'd be able to put in some money and make the client happy and bring you some things to have fun with too. So there's the braids in the back. And the foot peeking out is, yes, that is a cute little thing as well. And that was intentional. They wanted you to see that they did detail all the way to the bottom. And we are at fair warning. Is the last chance to bid on this item, and then we've got 2 more items left, and this one is going once. She's going twice. Yes, bow lips. And we are at bid end, and we'll see in a moment if our high bidder is Sandy at 25, and it is. So Sandy, thank you very much. $25 to you for that piece. And Sandy's 50. Okay, very good. So that is Marie from Royal Doulton. All right. Our penultimate piece, you know, I love that word, meaning second to the last. Let me get this in there for the next round. This is the other Edna Hibel piece. And this one has the child on it by themselves. This is done on, this looks more like travertine to me than the other type of marble that we saw. And so it's paneled and pieced together. Again, this starts at $1. And yes, you're right. That is what I meant, Diane. They did want you to see she was painted and had detail all the way down. They wanted you to know that it was done that way. And Ruthie at $12 is our opening bidder on the Edna Hibel. This piece measures, let's see here, 4 inches, 3 inches, and it's about 1.5 inches deep. So it would be useful. Edna Hibel is the artist, Hibel. She is a listed artist. There was a museum dedicated to her on the Atlantic coast of Florida where she ended her career. It has closed, I believe, because of the cessation of tourism a couple of years ago. They actually have closed the museum and de-accessioned a lot of the pieces, so they've gone into private collections. But she is a listed artist who is well known, and these were the types of things that they would have sold as souvenirs in the museum shop and places like that. I believe that's where you got these. So, well, thank you, Danny. I do find some cool stuff sometimes. Let's see, we have Aiden at $25 is our high bidder. And yes, it is on the small side. It's just a little dresser or jewelry box. You might be able to fold a few bills into it, hide your keys. It's just a nice thing for utility. And we are at fair warning. Christine at $27 is our high bidder. If you would like to outbid Christine, well, this is your chance, because we are coming to the end of this auction for this item. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at bid end. Let me put that in. We'll see when it comes up. Now, Danny finds great things at Goodwill because she lives in Las Vegas where there are great things at Goodwill. And there's our bid end, and Karen Chase for $28, you are the winner of that piece. So thank you very much. And I don't know that I've actually sold anything to you before, Karen. So again, please, if you'll let me know at the antiquenomad@gmail.com. I'll just need to get your information as far as your PayPal and your email address. I'm sorry, not your email address. That'll come with the email, won't it? Your mailing address. All right, so I have that down, and now we are at our last piece of the evening. And I will just get ready for this, and here we go. I sold a piece like this on my level 2 bonus video last month. And by the way, if you folks, any of you are level 2 members, there will be a bonus video coming out very soon, so look for that. But this is a 2-piece set. The one I sold was marked Dresden. This one is not marked, but it is the same kind of set, and this is starting at $1. $1 is your opening bid on this. This is floral painted, and while it's not marked Dresden, I suspect that it is German or Austrian. It is a sauce dish. This is what they would have served things like mayonnaise or maybe a dressing, and they would have put a little spoon in it for you, and this would have been your service. So it's a 2-piece set, and they do go together. I really like the painting on this. You can see the delicacy of the roses. A lot of this floral painted stuff was done in the 19-teens, late teens, and into the early 20s before Art Deco kind of took over the market. This would have been something that would have appealed to the Gibson girls, who had the big high-piled hair and the long dresses, and they loved flowers. And part of the reason for that was that during the Victorian era, because of the traditions and the style and the fact that Queen Victoria was in mourning for 50 years, everything was black, 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 black. And as soon as Queen Victoria died and we entered the Edwardian age, everybody wanted happy flowers and white, white, white. So here you've got it, white porcelain with happy flowers painted on it. I really do like the gilding here. And yes, Elisa, Danny's channel is worth binge watching. She really does know a lot. She's really good with eBay, and she does a great job. So I recommend her. Anyway, back to the piece at hand here, though. We're at $22. Lucky Texans. Oh, and Leah said she was gone for a second. This is a sauce boat. This would have been for mayonnaise or dressings, and it's got a little spout so you could hold it and pour it, or you could use it with a spoon. And this is going to date to about 1920. It does not have any maker's mark. It was probably sold as a blank. I believe it's European, and then painted here in the United States. So we are at $22, and it could be French. Yes, it could easily be Limoges because of that sort of old gold look, but the Austrians did like to do this sort of thing, and the last one I sold was Dresden from Germany, so could be any of those places, and it doesn't really say. A lot of times when I see this kind of a ring with a round inner ring, I associate that with Austrian and German makers as a general rule, but again, that doesn't mean it's always that way. I don't see any chips or cracks or damage on this, and we are at fair warning for our last item of the evening, Marina Mercer's at $24, and we are going once, we are going twice, and we are about to put in bid end and wait for this to come up and see who our high bidder is for the last item of this sale. And our high bidder is Marina Mercer for $24. Well, thank you, Marina. And again, I think you're new to me as well. But all of you who won something this evening, I would love it if you would please do send me an email to theantiquenomad@gmail.com, because then I can get things invoiced and I can get things out to you. Let me put sauce bowl set. I want to thank you very much for coming and seeing this live sale. It's great to be with you live again. It's the first time I've done something live in a while. We will have other kinds of live content on this channel soon, and we're back in business, so that's great. Also, if you are free at 8:15 Eastern Time, I will be on Whatnot, and again, whatnot.com. That is an app that you can, it's better if you load it on your phone, but you can do it on your computer as well. I'm going to be selling about the same number of items or a little more, but they're going to be a little more, like I said tonight, it's a little more stereotypically guy-oriented, I would say, but it's a variety of things, and we will have a lot of fun there too. So thank you all very, very much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you here or at a show or in the chat on Mondays and Wednesdays on my main channel. And it's been really great to see all of you again. And thanks so much. Take care now.